One thing everyone has in common is we all have to eat, though too many in our community may have to wonder where their next meal is coming from. Thankfully, there are numerous associations and organizations helping people with food security, and one of our community's key partners is the Brantford Food Bank. So today, I'm pleased to be interviewing Heather Vanner, the Executive Director of the Brantford Food Bank. Heather, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
So let's dive right in. What is the mandate of the Brantford Food Bank?
So the Brantford Food Bank provides emergency food to really anyone in our community who's in need. We provide support to individuals and families, households that need help, but also we provide support to various meal and food programs across the community. Right now, we are supporting individuals and families who are needing emergency food support on a daily basis. We're providing about a 5-day supply of food to individuals and families who come through the door. And really, we're open to anyone in need. There's no financial means test for anyone to be able to use the food bank. If someone comes into the food bank and needs help, we're going to do our best to try and help them on that day. We also provide food and grocery support to 23 other meal and food programs across the community. Obviously, right now with COVID, some are open and some are not, but we're doing our best to support everyone who's open right now. We provide various food and grocery products to them. We've also taken the lead with the provincial funding that has happened right now to support food banks and organizations through the COVID crisis, so that we can provide even more support to people who are needing help right now.
So you guys are just all hands on deck doing everything you can to help as many people as you can.
We really are. Right now, we're serving an average of about 2,300 individuals on a monthly basis here at the food bank. That's just the people that are coming through our doors.
That was going to be my next question was, so how many people do you serve on average and from where?
So really, Brantford, Brant County, anywhere in the area, people come to use the service. Most people that use the service here are from Brantford. As I said, we're serving about 2,300 individuals on a regular basis each month. That's our average, along with that support, like I said, to those other meal and food programs. So when we look at that right now in total, looking at all the meals that are being provided, all the food that's being supported, we're looking at almost 6,000 meals or food programs that are being supported, individuals that are being supported. So it's about 6,000 people in total from what we can figure.
You guys are doing such amazing work, and I do love the fact that it's so tightly knit with all the different organizations that are doing this as well. So my next question then, and I think this one's really important right now, how has COVID-19 changed the way that you're distributing food to people?
So when I look at it, we really haven't changed too much. We're open, which is the number one thing. We are available to people, and we want to make sure, first of all, that people do understand that the food bank is open for anyone who needs us. We are encouraging people to social distance when they do come in to use the food bank. They'll be doing that when they're in the they're waiting to go into our intake office and go through that process. Right now, we're only allowing one person kind of into our intake area at a time. And we are handing out food to people in the doorway of the food bank rather than having them come into the food bank itself. We're kind of preparing the food, getting it ready for them. We ask people basically what they need, and then we gather it for them. We have a food kit available for everyone, and then we add the extras, what they tell us what they need, and if we have it available and in stock, then we're going to try and support people as well based on dietary needs and those kind of things. And obviously our staff are using lots of hand sanitizer, and masks are available as they need them. We're having people line up using that social distancing outside the way the grocery stores are. So it's a similar setup to a lot of the organizations that are open right now.
You just innovate and adapt and do everything you can to make sure everyone is as safe as possible, right?
Absolutely. Right now, we really are going day to day, and we're adapting and changing every day in terms of how we're doing things or what we're doing. But basically, the process is very similar to any of the grocery stores or any of the organizations that are open.
And this is done with volunteers, right?
We have staff. Our staff is still working, which is great. We need them to help keep things coordinated. And then we do have some volunteers, that have come in to give us a hand. One of the challenges that we have faced is that the food bank isn't very big. Our warehouse area is kind of small here. So we want to be sure that our volunteers, when they're helping us, are also social distancing. So we've two things have happened. So our regular volunteers who are helping us on a regular basis, some of them have decided to self-isolate and keep the community safe and keep themselves safe, which is encouraged, and that's what we want people to
Of
do.
course, yeah.
But at the same time, we have had people in the community say, hey, we want to help. So we're also trying to make sure that if we have opportunities available, people are staying safe when they do come in to volunteer.
So we talked about how you're distributing food right now, but can you tell us how COVID-19 has changed the way that you're collecting food donations?
Well, again, it's not, it hasn't changed too much. Basically, two things are happening. We have our driver, Mike, who still goes out daily to pick up donations on a regular basis.
Okay.
And he's using his social distancing practices, making sure that he's using hand sanitizers and masks and being safe when he goes out as he needs to. But also, when individuals come in to donate to us to drop off food donations, we're actually encouraging them to call us ahead of time if they can to let us know they're coming, because that's important. But if not, it's okay. Like, we'll direct them. Basically, we have them come up to the door. We're not letting, like I said, we're not letting the public really come into the building. So again, we're trying to communicate to people through the doorways, asking them to kind of go around to the back of the food bank. We have a loading dock. They can unload the food there, knock, and then go back to the car, and then we'll come out to pick up the food off the dock. So it works, and we're getting the donations for sure that we need, which has been great.
One of the things that just absolutely warmed my heart was ever since this whole thing began, there's just been so many people through social media and many other channels just rallying and collecting donations and putting the word out that you have to support your local food banks. So if somebody wanted to put together a donation and deliver it to you guys, what's the best way to do that then?
So really what we're encouraging people to do is, if they want to make a food donation to us, collect it either in their home, put their donation together. They can bring it down to us. That's easy and that works. The other thing is, some of the grocery stores have barrels out and some of them have pulled them. So watch at your local grocery store. They may still have their food bank barrel out and they can make their donation there as well, because we are going to the stores to check. But they can just come right down to the food bank. I've seen organizations come together in amazing ways to provide donations right now. Families are working to support us, neighborhood food drives. There's so many things happening, and you're absolutely right.
We have such an incredible community.
It really is amazing. And I have to say, we are so, so grateful and thankful for every donation we're getting right now. We're not only trying to support the people that are coming in the door right now, but we're anticipating, right, when people are struggling in a couple months, if they're not back to work, if they're having a hard time, and we know companies and businesses and individuals maybe won't have the money to donate to us or be able to donate food to us at that time. We're also kind of building our little stockpile as well to make sure we're going to be able to get through the summer months, which are always the hardest months for us anyway. But having those food donations on hand is really helping us.
That's it's incredible. And I'm really happy to hear that. So I want to ask you another question. And I want to ask you, what's something about the food bank and your organization that maybe people don't know, or additional services that you provide to your clients?
I think for most people, what they don't realize is that not only do we as an organization offer those food bank services, but we also offer employment services as well. And we know people right now who have been laid off and have been affected by the COVID situation, and they're not sure what's happening with their jobs, or maybe they were struggling even before this all started and they're really worried about, are they going to be able to find a job, when things sort of get back to normal. We have our community employment service that provides people help with job searching and doing their resumes and interview skills and helping them look for work. We also have the opportunity for employers to be able to access some wage subsidies if they hire one of our clients on in a placement opportunity. So there, that to me is a big piece of actually what we do as an organization that many people don't really recognize as kind of connected to the food bank, that we're one organization, and we want to make sure that people understand we're there to help them in those capacities as well. That it's, yes, food is important, and that's the basic need that we're trying to make sure people know about right now, and that we're available to them to help them. But as things get back to normal, and if they're struggling to find work, if they're struggling to get back to their jobs, we encourage them to give us a call for that purpose as well, because we may be able to give them a hand and help them find work.
So much more than just a food bank.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's just incredible. So speaking of the right now, how can someone best help right now?
So right now, what I would encourage is actually monetary donations.
Okay.
Food donations do help us, and they're great, and we want those as well. But we know that the supply chains are tricky, and that there's not always things on the grocery store shelves for people, and even for us to try and access some of it is difficult. And so that's where I say monetary donations do help us for a couple reasons. One, obviously for those food purchases, and we can then try to source and buy bulk and buy things a little bit cheaper. So we try to do that. Also, for us, it's about making sure, because our volunteers are not always available right now because of social isolation, making sure that, I have the staff available and we can pay our rent. And I just actually heard this morning that our our freezer unit had broken down. It's a walk-in freezer. So we have someone in today fixing it. So there are those costs that we're going to incur as we go along with this. And the big one though is food, and it is making sure we have enough food available for everyone who maybe needs us over the next few months.
So we've made it this far. I've only actually got one more question for you. If somebody wants to volunteer or support or get more information on the Brantford Food Bank, where do they go? Who do they contact? What's all the details?
So what I'd suggest is two things. First, check out our website, brantfordfoodbank.ca or crs-help.ca. Either of those will take you to our website, and you can look at the food bank. There's lots of information on our website about who we are and what we do. There's also a section for people to make monetary donations if they want to. They can learn about how to do food drives, and if they want to host a food drive, how to do that, and contact information, and volunteering as well. So on our website, you have access to actually fill out the application to be a volunteer with us. And if you don't want to take the time to look at the website, or you really want to know how you can help right now, give us a call. You can always call us at 519-751-HELP, 4357, and we can connect you to whoever you need to talk to about monetary donations, Ashley about food donations, or Shelley, our volunteer coordinator. So we can get you connected for sure.
Awesome. Thank you once again for taking the time to do this interview and to answer these questions. You provide an invaluable service to our community, and thank you to you and your staff and your team and your volunteers for everything that you do, just in general, but specifically now for how you've ramped it up during the COVID-19 crisis and are literally changing people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate it.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.